Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Val and I garden here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's Zone 6A, where the season is short, the weather is dramatic, and choosing the right crops makes all the difference. Today I'm sharing the 7 things that give me the best yield in small spaces. Whether you're growing in containers, in raised beds, or a tiny patio or balcony, these are the crops that really pay you back. Number 1, cherry tomatoes. This is the overachiever. These are hands down the most productive crop that you can grow in a small space. Cherry tomatoes don't need a huge bed. They love containers, and once they get going, they don't stop. They're a vining plant, right? So the more that they grow, the more that they produce, the more that you pick, it just keeps going all summer. And I love them because you get color and flavor and a ridiculous amount of fruit from one plant. If you're new to gardening or you want a guaranteed win, this is it, cherry tomatoes. And if you choose an indeterminate variety and give it, just give it a stake or a string or something to hang on to, you'll double your harvest. And it just keeps producing. It's fantastic. If you only grow one thing in your garden, or if you're looking for somewhere to start, a cherry tomato plant, it'll change your life. Number 2, pole beans. Vertical magic. Pole beans are one of the most underrated high yield crops. They grow up, not out, which means you get a massive harvest from a tiny footprint. And I like how they climb and they create this lush green wall. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful and it's practical. And if you pick them young and often, the more you harvest, the more they produce. You'll sense a theme here. I grew in small spaces for many years, and my choices always leaned towards one plant that produces multiple things. So like the cherry tomatoes, like the pole beans. If you just have one seed, that creates a whole plant that produces tons of fruit, and your harvest is large. If you choose things like carrots, for example, that one seed produces 1 carrot. So you need to plant many of those things to get any kind of volume. I mean, if you love carrots, go to town, by all means. But if you have a limited space, picking things that produce volume with the least amount of footprint and the least amount of effort, that's where you should focus. All right, number 3, lettuce. This is like the never-ending salad bowl. Lettuce is the crop that keeps on giving. Instead of pulling the whole plant, you can harvest the outer leaves again and again, and it just keeps growing. So it's perfect for containers. You can tuck it into any little gap in a raised bed, and it'll keep producing for most of the season. Obviously, in the heat of summer, you either need to give it shade or just plant it in the cooler months in the spring and in the fall. If you grow a mix of textures like a butterhead and a romaine and a loose leaf lettuce, your salads feel fancy without any extra effort. And if you use the cut and come again method, which is you basically leave the head of lettuce in the ground and you just harvest the outer leaves and just leave the plant there, it just keeps growing new leaves. So you can harvest from it several times over the course of the growing season. Number 4, basil. I had to have an herb in here. And I plant basil every year. It's one of those herbs that absolutely thrives in containers or small spaces. And once it's happy, it grows like crazy. I love it because it's high yield. It grows a lot. And it's just an awesome plant. I cook a lot with it. So I just love basil just to have it on hand versus having to go to the grocery store or buying those little plastic containers that have like a small handful of basil. If you start growing your own basil over the summer, there's no going back from that, you guys. It's just awesome. And if you pinch the tops early and often, it feels mean, but it makes the plant explode with new growth, and you just prevent it from flowering. And every pinch that you make, if you pinch the top of it, it'll put out 2 branches on either side of it, and it just gets super bushy and lush. It's fantastic. Number 5 is sugar snap peas. They're sweet, they're crisp, and they're so productive. Snap peas are one of the first things I plant and one of the first things I snack on in the garden. They climb beautifully, so they don't need that much space because they grow vertically, and they produce a surprising amount of food for such a delicate looking plant. The first time I ever grew them, I was actually shocked at how much they produced. If you give them a simple trellis and plant them close, peas actually like being crowded. The ones that are closer to the trellis will grip onto the trellis, and the other ones will grip onto the other plant, so they kind of act as their own support. Super easy, super productive. Number 6, garlic. The set it and forget it staple. Garlic is the quiet achiever in the garden. You plant it in the fall, forget about it all winter, and then suddenly you have these gorgeous bulbs in July. You also get a crop of garlic scapes, usually in mid-June where I garden, which you can use for, for stir fries, for pesto and whatnot. And then about a month after that, you harvest your garlic bulbs. It's one of the highest value crops you can grow in a small space because store-bought garlic just doesn't compare. Homegrown garlic, it tastes better. You know where it's growing, you know where it's coming from, and it's just amazing. And if you cure them, they'll last for months. And garlic is pricey at the store. If you grow your own garlic, you can obviously cure some to eat some for yourself, for fresh eating and for cooking. But if you save some of the largest cloves, you can plant them that fall, and it's like a cycle. You just keep replanting the garlic that you've grown. It's wonderful. Number 7, strawberries. This is the crowd pleaser. Strawberries are pure joy. They're compact, they're beautiful, and they're incredibly productive when grown in containers or hanging baskets. Honestly, nothing beats picking a warm strawberry in the sun. It's winter here in Halifax, and I've been dreaming about crops and planting, and I can't wait to start my seeds, and I'm trying to be patient about it. And I'm looking back. I was looking back at all of my photos of the harvests and just thinking about what crops have been the most successful, at least for me. And it's things that give me the most bang for my buck. Just keeps us in food for months on end. And I wanted to share this information with you guys. If you're working with a small space, I hope this gave you some ideas for crops that really pay you back. These 7 have earned their spot in my garden year after year. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe or share it with a friend who's planting their garden. Happy gardening, everybody.